This is the CITI Rewards Plus credit card. There is no annual fee, and to have a good chance of acquiring this card, the following items are recommended: a credit score of 700 or higher, no credit card with a history of serious delinquency, no Citi credit card that is past due, and no bankruptcy in the last 7 years. There must also be a monthly income that exceeds monthly rent or mortgage payments by at least $1,000. This monthly income is the total annual income provided on the application divided by 12. The applicant must also be able to meet all monthly payments based on his income, his estimated living expenses, and other debt. To receive a card account, the applicant must also meet all applicable criteria related to creditworthiness and any other eligibility criteria which CitiBank determines at its own sole discretion. The revolving credit limit will be determined based on the following: annual salary and wages, any other annual income, and on a review of the applicant's debt, including the debt listed on the credit report. The CitiBank will inform the applicant of the size of the revolving credit limit when the credit card is sent. Some limits may be as low as $1,000. Please note that cash advances may be limited to a portion of the revolving credit limit. This card offer is valid for new applicants only and is only available to individuals who reside in the United States and its territories. An applicant must be at least 18 years of age. If married, each individual may apply for a separate account. Eligibility for a particular product and service is subject to final determination by CitiBank. It normally takes about 4 weeks from the date of submission to process the card account application, and the card account will be governed by the terms of the card agreement provided when the card account is issued. If an applicant is approved for a card account, he or she will receive a card agreement before being able to use the card account. The terms of the card agreement will take effect once the card account is used. Even if the card account is not used, the card agreement will still take effect if the card account is not cancelled within 30 days after the card has been sent by CitiBank. CitiBank reserves the right to make changes to the terms of the card account, including rates and fees, in accordance with the card agreement. Here are some of the card benefits. Citi benefits include Citi Entertainment, which gives special access for the purchase of tickets to thousands of events, including pre-sale tickets for concerts, sporting events, dining experiences, and more. Customer service representatives are available to assist with Citi benefits 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Shopping can be done safely with the contactless chip-enabled function of the card. Just tap the card on the payment reader and go. Or the card can be used with digital wallets to shop online, within apps, and in stores. The CITI Rewards Plus card automatically rounds up to the nearest 10 points on every purchase. For example, a $2 cup of coffee can earn 10 points, and a $22 dinner can earn 30 points. For every purchase that earns points, the thank you points will be rounded up to the nearest 10 points, so that the total thank you points awarded for any purchase is in a 10 thank you point increment. For example, if an item costs $3.48, 10 thank you points will be earned. And if an item costs $9.51, the same 10 thank you points will also be earned. For purchases that qualify for double points, points are rounded after the additional points are awarded. For example, if an item costs $7 and it qualifies for double points, 14 points will be earned and then rounded up to 20 thank you points. Cardholders also earn 15,000 bonus points after spending $1,000 within the first 3 months of opening the account. However, bonus thank you points are not available if you received a new card member bonus for CITI Rewards Plus, CITI Thank You Preferred, CITI Thank You Premier, CITI Premier, or CITI Prestige, or if you have closed any of these accounts within the past 24 months. Cardholders receive 10% points back for the first 100,000 thank you points that are redeemed each year. That means if someone redeems 15,000 points, they will get 1,500 points back from the 10% points back feature. But cardholders will not receive 10% points back on points redeemed for points sharing transactions. Certain purchases do not qualify for thank you points. At supermarkets, double points will not be earned for purchases made at general merchandise, discount superstores, freezer, meat locker provisioners, dairy product stores, miscellaneous food convenience stores, markets, drugstores, warehouse clubs, wholesale clubs, specialty vendors, bakeries, candy stores, nut stores, confectionery stores, meal kit delivery services, discount stores, department stores, and convenience stores. It is also not possible to earn double points for purchases made at online supermarkets if the merchant does not classify itself as a supermarket by using the supermarket merchant code. Double points will not be earned for fuel purchased for commercial purposes or used for non-automobile purposes. Double points will not be earned if the merchant does not classify itself as a gas station by using the gas station merchant code. Only purchases can earn points. The following transactions do not earn thank you points: balance transfers, cash advances, checks that access your card account, items returned for credit, unauthorized charges, interest and account fees, traveler's checks, foreign currency purchases, money orders, wire transfers, and similar cash-like transactions, lottery tickets, gaming chips, and similar betting transactions. The rewards benefit is capped at spending $6,000 on purchases at supermarkets and gas stations in order to earn double points on these purchases. When the cardholder reaches a reward or benefit cap and then returns an item, this reduces the spending within that category. However, the cardholder will still earn only single points for purchases, even if those purchases would have otherwise qualified for double points. Once the cardholder redeems 100,000 thank you points annually with a 10% points back feature, the cardholder will not earn additional 10% points back that same year, even if subsequent returns cause a reduction in the thank you points attributable to 10% points back. Merchants are assigned a merchant category code, MCC, which is determined in accordance with Visa, MasterCard, and American Express procedures based on the kinds of products and services the merchants primarily sell. CitiBank does not control the assignment of these codes, and they are not responsible for the codes used by merchants. When a cardholder uses a card to make a purchase, CitiBank receives an MCC for that purchase. CitiBank groups similar merchant codes into categories for purposes of making rewards offers. Sometimes a cardholder may expect a purchase to fit within a rewards category, but if the code assigned to the merchant was not grouped into that category, the purchase will not qualify for additional points. For example, at a restaurant located within a retailer, if the restaurant is assigned a retailer code instead of a restaurant code. Please also note that purchases made through mobile wireless technology may not earn additional points depending on how the technology is set up to process the purchase. CitiBank reserves the exclusive right to determine which purchases qualify for additional points. A cardholder may earn thank you points as long as the card account is open and current. If the card account is closed, the cardholder will not be able to earn and redeem thank you points, will not earn points from Roundup, and will also not receive the 10% points back offer. The cardholder will also lose any accumulated thank you points that have not been transferred to the Thank You Member account. CitiBank will set up a Thank You Member account for each cardholder. Thank You Rewards may be terminated with 30 days prior written notice. If Thank You Rewards is terminated, the cardholder will have 90 days from Thank You Rewards termination date to redeem all the accumulated thank you points. The Thank You Rewards program may be changed at any time. Rewards offered by Thank You Rewards and the thank you point levels required for specific rewards are subject to change without notice. Thank you points earned from purchases round up and thank you points earned from 10% points back post to the card account at the close of each billing cycle, and at that time, CitiBank will transfer the thank you points earned to the Thank You Member account. Points from round up and 10% points back are not considered bonus thank you points. Bonus thank you points may take 1 to 2 additional billing cycles to post to the card account. Thank you points are not eligible for redemption until they are transferred to the Thank You Member account. Points can be used at Amazon.com or BestBuy.com or may be redeemed for other rewards like gift cards or for purchases at department stores, home stores, and restaurants. Or the points may be redeemed for flights, hotels, cruises, and more. CitiBank is not responsible for products and services offered by other companies. Featured items at Amazon.com are not part of Thank You Rewards collection and are subject to availability. The cardholder will receive a 0% introductory APR for 15 months from the date of account opening. After that, the variable APR for purchases will range from 13.49% to 23.49% based on the cardholder's creditworthiness. If there are any late payments, the cardholder may lose the introductory APR and then have it replaced with the penalty APR. The variable penalty APR is up to 29.99% and may be applied if the cardholder makes either a late payment or a payment that is returned. The penalty fees for late or returned payment may be up to $40. How long will the penalty APR apply? If the APRs are increased for either of these reasons, late payment or return payment, the penalty APR may apply indefinitely. The standard variable APR for CITI Flex plan is 13.49% to 23.49%. The standard variable APR for cash advances is 25.24%. The variable rates are based on a 3.25% prime rate. CitiBank adds from 10.24% to 20.24% to the prime rate to determine the purchase balance transfer CITI Flex plan APR. They add 21.99% to the prime rate to determine the cash advances APR, and they add up to 26.74% to the prime rate to determine the penalty APR. However, the variable rate APRs will not exceed 29.99%. The minimum interest charge is 50 cents. The fee for foreign purchases is 3% of each purchase transaction in US dollars. Cash advance fee is either $10 or 5% of the amount of each cash advance, whichever is greater. The balance transfer fee is either $5 or 3% of the amount of each transfer, whichever is greater. Balance transfers must be completed within 4 months of opening the account. After receiving the card, an applicant can call the customer service number on the back of the card to transfer balances. All balance transfers are subject to the standard purchase APR unless an introductory or other promotional rate applies. If CitiBank gives an applicant the option to transfer a balance with the application, it will take at least 14 days after the card account is opened to process any balance transfer payments. During this time, the applicant may cancel or modify the balance transfer request by calling the number on the back of the card. The applicant may transfer any amount, or the total amount of the balance transfer plus balance transfer fees must be less than the available revolving credit limit. The applicant must make sure not to transfer any disputed purchases or other charge amounts because the applicant may lose his dispute rights. The applicant cannot transfer balances from any other accounts issued by CitiBank or its affiliates. If there is any doubt about the issuer of an account, please check the list of Citi products and affiliates on the Citi.com website. The applicant must continue to make payments on all other accounts until it is confirmed that the balance transfer has been received. Once approved, CitiBank will pay the amount of the balance transfer directly to the issuer of the account. The available revolving credit limit for the new card will be reduced by the total amount of the transfers, including any fees that are approved by CitiBank. If an applicant transfers a balance with this balance transfer offer, interest will be charged on purchases made with a credit card unless the purchases have a 0% APR or the applicant pays the new balance shown on the statement, including the amount of the balance transfer, in full by the payment due date each billing period. If the applicant defaults under the card agreement, he will lose any promotional APR on the balance transfer. The payment due date is at least 23 days after the close of each billing cycle. CitiBank will not charge any interest on purchases if the card member pays the monthly CitiFlex plan payment amount plus the entire balance, excluding any CitiFlex plan balances, by the due date each month in full. If the card member does not pay the monthly CitiFlex plan payment plus the entire balance, excluding any CitiFlex plan balances, by the due date each month, the card member will have to pay interest on all purchases from the date they are posted to the account. CitiBank will begin charging interest on cash advances and balance transfers on the transaction date. CitiBank will begin charging interest on a CitiFlex plan balance at the start of the billing cycle following the billing cycle during which the card member created the CitiFlex plan. CitiBank may apply a portion of any monthly payments up to the minimum payment due to the lower APR balances first, including transferred balances. Generally, payments above the minimum payment due will be applied to the highest rate balances first. If CitiBank sees evidence of fraud, misuse, abuse, or suspicious activity as determined by CitiBank's sole discretion, CitiBank reserves the right to take action against the cardholder. This action may include, without limitation and without prior notice, any or all of the following: taking away accrued thank you points, stopping the card owner from earning thank you points, suspending or closing the card account or thank you account, taking legal action to recover rewards redeemed because of such activity and to recover CitiBank's monetary losses, including litigation costs and damages. Some examples of fraud, misuse, abuse, and suspicious activity include using the card account in an abusive manner for the primary purpose of acquiring thank you points, using the card account other than primarily for personal, consumer, or household purposes, repeatedly opening card accounts or CitiBank checking accounts for the primary purpose of acquiring thank you points. To help the government fight the funding of terrorism and money laundering activities, federal law requires all financial institutions to obtain, verify, and record information that identifies each person who opens an account. This means that CitiBank will ask for an applicant's name, address, date of birth, and other information that will allow them to identify someone when an account is opened. CitiBank may also ask to see a driver's license or any other identifying documents in order to obtain identification information about the applicant or any authorized user added to the account. By filing an application, the applicant authorizes the Social Security Administration to verify and disclose to CitiBank through Experian for the purpose of this transaction whether the name, Social Security number, and date of birth submitted matches the information in the Social Security Administration records. This consent is for a one-time validation within 90 days following submission of the application. The applicant also authorizes CitiBank to get credit reports and other information from consumer reporting agencies and other sources for such purposes as determining whether to issue a card account, administering, reviewing, and renewing the card account, credit line increases or decreases, collection and other servicing of the card account, and offering other products and services, and for any other uses permitted by law. If the applicant asks CitiBank will tell the applicant whether or not a request was made for a credit bureau report and will reveal the names and addresses of any credit bureaus that provided such reports. From time to time, CitiBank may report negative information about a cardholder's account behavior, like delinquencies, to consumer reporting agencies. When an authorized user is added to a card account, the original applicant and owner of the account is responsible for all charges made or allowed to be made to the card account by the authorized user. The authorized users have access to the applicant's card account information. CitiBank may also report card account performance to the credit reporting agencies in the authorized user's name. If CitiBank asks for information about the authorized user, the owner of the card account must obtain permission from the authorized user to share their information with CitiBank, and for CitiBank to share this information as allowed by applicable law. Any benefit, reward, service, or feature offered in connection with the CitiBank card account may be changed or discontinued at any time, for any reason, except as otherwise expressly indicated.